Welcome to Tonics In, the best way to talk about video games. Hosted by Myra Sab0 and Sab0. So yeah, we'll have a little intro thing and we can just kind of fade into what we're talking about now.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, what are we talking about right now?
What are we going to talk about this week? I don't know. Let's get to some news for the week. Final Fantasy VII Remake demo came out.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff. Wow.
It's pretty fucking cool. I played through it quite fast. I was told that it was going to be 4 hours long, and then I finished the bombing mission and I'm like, "Wait, that's it?" I was just doing a montage of shit and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess it's over."
See, I'm it's so funny because when it comes to a demo for a game, I'm really hesitant to even get into it because I don't want anything to be spoiled for me, which is so stupid in this day and age when literally everything is spoiled all the time. There's so many gameplay trailers out that you basically know exactly what you're getting into. But I have not played it. So what do you make of it?
It reminds me of when I was watching you play Final Fantasy 13, and that there's a lot of menu stuff. But it's also real-time action shit. So you're fighting and stuff, and then you can go into the menus to do a spell or tell someone else to do something. But it slow-mos everything, and then you can put it in. But stuff is still slowly going, so it's kind of you're still okay, I gotta decide really fast. So it's really fast paced. But you have the option at the beginning of the game to basically have it as turn based. So if you don't want to do that, you can have it the normal game. But I wanted to experience the new thing, and it was pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. It sounds close to Final Fantasy 15 then, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, that yeah. Well, I completely forgot about Final Fantasy 15.
Right?
I just remember the food in it, and that was about it.
Right?
That food is amazing. It's
it
so
really
good.
is. They put a lot of work into that, definitely.
Oh yeah, there's so many recipes too. But funny you should say the Final Fantasy remake came out. I looked up some news on the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it said that Episode 1 is what I predicted was going to end when you leave Midgard. And what the article said was that Red 13 won't be playable during those chapters, because you get him so late in that thing, that they're not even going to say how you can use him and his mechanics and stuff. But I thought it meant that for the entire game, and I'm like, the fuck are you doing?
How could they do that?
Exactly. I'm like, it's my favorite character. You can't sidelight him like that. But what they meant is the final few chapters, he's just gonna fight alongside you, kind of just as an NPC that you can't really control. As the fights go on, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I was just I was so nearly went into a rage, just being like, why would you cut him entirely from the game? He's a main character. Oh, what?
Wow, yeah. I think the most recent trailer that I saw had him in it, and so that was my first peek. So, again, I've been trying to dodge most of the coverage on this game just because I want, I've been so on the fence about the whole remake idea for Final Fantasy VII because it's a game that is near and dear to my heart. But as little bits of footage that I've seen, have come out, I'm more on board. And then when I saw Red 13, I was mad hype. So
see, it's the opposite effect on me. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I want to see everyone updated. I want to see everybody with voices because we were just stuck with text that was poorly translated and shit. But what I noticed is Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, they all talk way more and they have way more personality than the basic stuff we were used to in the normal game.
Yeah.
And I'm just yo, it's gonna be so bad later on. I'm gonna cry and shit because I know what's gonna happen to these guys. I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think, there's with the remake here and the way that they're, really expanding on each kind of chapter of the game, each small mini arc that they're going to be releasing, whatever. I mean, to fully like flesh out Midgar is going to be like pretty insane. I mean, that part of the game usually takes 5-6 hours or so to get through, and to kind of like really expand it into 30-40 hours or whatever the heck they're expecting to do with it. It's going to be so full of life, and like that's amazing.
Yeah, I've heard bits and pieces, but since you don't want to be spoilt too much, I won't say much. It's like they allow Midgard to be like you can explore, but it's very much like linear exploration in that it's clearly they want you to get to this point, but you can like kind of deviate into little like back alleys and get items and stuff, but like it's now you can walk through it instead of like in the old game where it's just like, and we bombed this and we went through one tunnel and now we're here, and it's like, oh, okay. Where's the rest of it?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, Final Fantasy VII is going to be very hype, and I'm
very
very
hype.
excited.
We're a month away. Like that's crazy.
Are we actually a month away? I thought it was like slightly sooner. I don't remember when it's coming out.
It is April 10th. So basically
so
a month.
A month and a day.
A month and a day.
Yeah. So I'm quite hyped for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I just realized we should probably tell people why it's called Tonics In, because people are probably very fucking curious about that.
Yeah, right?
Because we just started talking about fucking Final Fantasy VII because it's fucking awesome.
It's fucking hype, yeah.
But, yeah, we should probably explain the Tonics In thing is basically the rule of this podcast is that we have to have at least 2 drinks before we start it. And I'm currently holding my third at the moment.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Yes. Well, it's not like full pints like in this goddamn country where everything is in pints. So I've gone for like quality over quantity in that I have cans. Although one can is a bit bigger by like 20, 25 milliliters. So not much, but it's still good.
Nice. And I gotta say, given our time difference between the two of us here, cracking open a couple of beers like in the morning for breakfast is pretty amazing. Yeah. I'm set for the day. This is excellent.
Yeah, for me, it's just like after work beer, so it's kind of normal, but it's also
sense.
Like I have work the next day. I really shouldn't be drinking too much, but whatever. The children will be like, "Miss, why are you so drunk and so not happy in the morning?" They're all apparently Russian children. So yeah, I have to like explain, like, "Oh, I'm starting a podcast with my brother, and I have to drink beer."
It's just required.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of my way, kids.
I also thought it would be just a little like really fun thing very quickly as to like what beers we're actually drinking, because we'll never get sponsored because that won't happen.
No.
So we can explain what we're actually drinking. So my first one was called Disco Forklift Truck.
Ooh.
And it's a mango pale ale from Dry Gate Brewing Company. Oh my god, this picture because I took pictures of it because I'm like, I already drank it and recycled it, so I just took another picture of it. It is the first one I had was 5.3% alcohol.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Doesn't obviously doesn't 100% taste like mangoes, but it's like it has a fruitiness to it. It's nice. And my second one was Camden Show Off, a juicy lager from Camden Town Brewing, and that was 5.8%.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. What am I drinking today? I picked up a Phillips Shortwave West Coast Pale Ale, 5.2%. It is brewed in Victoria, BC. I have a couple of them here with me today, so that's what I've been drinking this morning.
Nice. My first one, I don't know where it's from because the picture I took, I'm like, yeah, this looks good. It's so blurry. I cannot read it. I'll obviously get it again, so I'll tell you then.
Yeah.
The Camden one is obviously brewed near Camden in London, in the UK.
Right.
Right. And my third one here is Brooklyn lager, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a limited release. Brooklyn Naranjito. So an orange pale ale, and it is the smoothest thing ever.
Oh
It is
wow,
so nice.
that's really
And
cool.
this is the one that's slightly bigger, so it's 355 mil.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's very nice. So when you come over, you can have some of these. They're like constantly on a like a 4 for 6 deal. So 4 cans for £6 or something.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
That's
it's quite nice.
that's
And this is just like
excellent.
at the supermarket because yeah, UK is like yo beer everywhere.
Sweet.
Anyways, back onto gaming news, I guess. Now
Yeah,
that we've
yeah.
cleared that shit up,
What do you got?
I'll go. I'll go because you or was the Final Fantasy VII one of your news things.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. So my next one, because my top one was also Final Fantasy VII. The second one is The Last of Us TV series heads to HBO.
Mm.
With Chernobyl creator doing the directing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so if have you seen Chernobyl? Because it's fucking amazing.
I have not, but I've only heard good things about
Oh,
it.
it is so good.
Yeah.
I have the like entire DVD set. I think here. I
Mm.
don't know if I've lent it out,
Mm.
but you need to binge that if you when you come over
Nice. I
in the summer
should.
for 2 weeks. So it is so good. I will totally watch it again because it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
shit actually happened.
It's
So
on my
like,
list. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So yes, Last of Us TV series. How do you feel about a TV series video game? Because video games are not great when they get adapted to film and stuff.
I know, right? It's such a poor track record, and like the thing is, it's The Last of Us is a pretty good property to make into a series. I think it has it's got a lot of it's got a strong narrative. It's got good characters. So I think it should be okay in the right hands. And if it's going to be directed by Chernobyl guy and it's going to be
Yeah.
on HBO, it stands to reason that it'll do well. I mean, video game stuff has gotten a little better over the last little while. The Witcher
Oh yeah, I haven't
on
read.
Netflix, I think.
I haven't watched any of that, but I have watched something else that's also in my news, but I'll get to it. Basically, the Castlevania animated series.
Yeah.
So fucking hype. Oh, so good. But yeah, no, I think they're getting better at adapting shit because like we grew up with the hypest thing in our childhood was Mortal Kombat, and that's fucking ass.
It's terrible.
The only good thing that came from it was that fucking theme song. It's just like, yeah,
what a banger! What a banger! Yeah, I mean, like I think I think with Witcher's is a series of books as well originally, so I mean it has that going for it. But yeah, like straight up, people are recognizing more and more that video games do have some solid storylines and can definitely be worked into a TV series. I think Last of Us is going to be maybe one of those ones that really takes off. It's got like the kind of right balance of elements, I think, that'll make for a pretty successful TV show.
Well, I kind of like see it as like The Walking Dead of video games. So like The Walking Dead is super like popular and stuff, even though it's very different from the comics because I've read the comics and I've watched some of The Walking Dead when I was back home in Canada because like I think Blair says like, oh, you should totally watch it, and I was like, this is all right. But yeah, no, it's super popular right now. I think still, I don't know. I don't care anymore.
It is. It is. Yeah, definitely a big
But
hit.
if you slap The Last of Us onto like a title like a TV series, I also watch it because video games. I gotta support it. So
yeah, I think it'll be a hit. Yeah,
I think so too. Once I don't know how it'll get over here eventually, but I can always stream it.
Stream it. I'm sure it'll go worldwide for a release. Yeah, on one
Hopefully.
of the I mean, well, let's see HBO. Let's see. It might be a little trickier to get, but
yeah, HBO is a bitch over here.
Right.
So. Because like there's certain websites that are completely blocked, like Comedy Central. It's like it's not available in your area. It's like
right. How dare you?
How
dare you?
Exactly. I want fun. So you're next. What's
cool.
up with your next one?
What else do I have? Resident Evil 3. There was a live stream for the remake last week. And apparently not a whole lot was revealed. Again, this is one of those cases where like I don't want to see anything else about it. I know what I'm getting into with this game. But it showed off a lot of the early part of the game, things that we've seen before. They're talking about when a demo is going to come out for it, and they haven't really announced that yet. But I mean, we're running out of time because that game is also coming out in the first couple weeks of April.
I know, there's so much shit coming
There's
out, and I have no
so
time!
much
Yeah.
stuff. So, I mean, it looks like everything is going excellent with this remake. I mean, Resident Evil 3 is, like, it sucks because it's, like, in the shadow of Resident Evil 2 when it came out originally for the PlayStation.
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
But, and it, you know, it's a little bit quicker. It's, you know, it was kind of, it feels like it is a little bit cobbled together, but, you know, giving it the remake treatment here, it looks like it's just going to be fantastic. It's like an action-packed, fun, good time, and Nemesis is freaking terrifying. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this, and it looks like everything is going according to plan.
That is good. Yeah, no, I haven't really. I know a few things, and like one of them disappoints me, but in a very stupid way. But like the actual like gameplay that I've seen, and like how Nemesis can just appear any fucking where, it's just like, oh god, it's so like stressful and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to play Resi 2's remake because I watched you.
Yep.
When we were like just streaming and talking. Because that's how we always played Resident Evil games. You guys would play it, and I would just watch because I was a little baby and I couldn't fucking take, like, shooting stuff and actually doing things properly. Now I'm fine with it,
Now
but
you're
I'm just
good.
like, dude, I don't have any fucking time right now. Like,
Yeah.
shit's busy.
Shit's busy.
But, no, I am quite hyped for 3, because I actually remember 3 more because you played it loads.
Yeah.
So much so that our fucking disc is broken.
We can't ever get the battery. Never.
No, isn't it like, yeah, no, you have to get the battery. I thought it was always the lighter where you had to like torch the gate open because there was like rope on it or whatever, and like you use the lighter on it.
It was the battery in the cop car. Once you go to tram, and then you need the battery for that, and then you go back to the cop car and you pull the battery out, and the game just ate it.
Yeah, no, like nothing happened. It was just like, you want to take the battery? And it's like nothing happens.
And we looked at the disc, and there's like one tiny little mark, and we're like, that's where the battery is, right there.
Yeah, I actually took it in to that used gaming store in New West, and I got it repaired, and it still does the same thing. I'm just like, game's fucked.
Game's fucked.
Game's so fucked right now. Like, oh, it's so annoying because like I got the courage to like play the game, and I'm like, oh, it's not working. Oh,
yeah, rip.
So yeah. But yeah, the one thing that I learned that disappoints me in a stupid way is that Carlos is not a skeezy motherfucker anymore.
No.
Yeah, so he's not like cheesy, like, oh, the ladies like me. He's just like some serious like army dude now, and I'm like, that sucks. I want skeezy lines.
I mean, yeah, like it's dumb and it's hammy, and they're trying to like, yeah, like, you know, I don't know, fix those quote unquote mistakes, I guess. But you know what? That's what adds to the charm, really. Like, these games are campy as all hell. So
exactly,
you know, let's just have fun with it
that way. Yeah. Was there any campy stuff in 2, like the remake of 2? Because I can't remember.
Remake of 2 is pretty straight. Like, it doesn't really ham it up too much. So they definitely kind of cut down on that for the remake. So I imagine that we'll get more of the same in this one.
I want campy shit.
Campy.
Campy. Okay. Is it my turn to go to the next thing?
Go for it.
I don't know. This one just keeps up coming up on like BBC News, and I'm like, okay, I got it. Yeah, that's cool. So prototype Nintendo PlayStation console that never came to market fetched for $360,000 in an auction over the weekend. I guess the past weekend. And it's the founder of Pets.com and Toys.com.
Yes.
And he wants to like donate it to a museum eventually because he has like a big collection of like old consoles and stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm like, that just keeps coming up like it's the only fucking news on like gaming, and it's just like, I got it. And then there's like also like the not translation, the conversion of currency on like BBC News is like 200 and something thousand as well.
Ooh.
I know. I'm just like, whoo. I think it's
Um,
still on there because coronavirus is like taking over everything.
oh, seriously?
Yes. Sells for £230,000. So it's like, okay.
Nice. I heard that the guy picked it up at an estate sale for like $75 or something. And
Oh God.
just kind of noticed that it looked a little bit weird. It looked like something that was kind of odd. And so he picked it up, and apparently he'd been touring it around and showing it off at like gaming conventions and stuff like that. It's funny because there was a report that the guy had turned down over $1 million for the console prototype thing. But
Fool!
he thought, no, it's worth more than that. So to see it go for 360,
Okay,
it's still an absurd amount of money. But like,
oh yeah,
yo, dude, man, why did you turn down $1 million?
yeah,
What?
like you bought this for fucking
Nothing.
and you're just like, oh, this looks cool. I'll give you $1 million for it. I mean, yeah, fucking take it.
Take it.
I can buy like 2 houses with that.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on where you live.
Or
one house if you live in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Like the down payment for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my news that kept like I kept watching and seeing on my like news feed. I'm like, yeah, it's old news now. I don't care.
Yeah. Interesting little piece of history there for sure. I hope that the pets.com guy actually does put it in a museum somewhere at some point, because it's such a rare piece. Like, that never comes up. A weird Nintendo Sony hybrid thing, like,
yeah,
that needs to be somewhere.
Yeah, and then like Nintendo was like, no, you're not allowed to have this, and they're like, nope, fuck you, we're making your own console.
That's right.
Whoa.
Probably worked out for the best, all told, that Sony branched off and made PlayStation after that.
I mean, yeah. I wonder if like what the world would be like if it was like still Nintendo PlayStation. Like,
it'd be weird.
All the games would be overpriced forever and never go down in price.
Never, ever, ever.
Just like Nintendo games. God damn
right.
it.
You want to play Mario Kart 8? Nah, full price. Forever.
I'm still waiting. I don't know why I'm waiting, but I'm like, Yoshi's Woolly World. I'm just like, please go down in price, because it looks so cute and fun.
Oh, those Yoshi games, man, they're so dope.
Oh, it's so cute. Yoshi's Story was the best.
You know what? I was actually listening to the Yoshi Stories theme the other day, the ending theme. It's great. What a good song. What a jam.
I like the one that you like made fun of when I would always play it, like,
yeah,
because we didn't know what they were saying.
What are they
like,
saying?
The asshole. It's like, okay,
that's
what they're saying.
We were kids. It sounded like asshole to me, but what are they saying? Like the end? Oh, maybe that.
I have no goddamn clue.
Doesn't matter. It's a cute ass song, and what a great game.
Yeah, it was. Do you have another news thing?
I don't know. Not really too much. I noticed that a Trials of Mana gameplay trailer came out just the other day. That is Sega Densetsu 3. What a gem of a game.
Yo, I bought it immediately as soon as it came out on Switch. I was like, yo, I'm playing it again, even though I have an emulation that was free.
Yeah. So that one is coming out at the end of April, something like another friggin' April release. And while this like remake thing, like, it looks fine,
I'm not fully on board with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy it to support it because it's only taken 20 years, 25 years for this game to finally see the light of day.
Yeah, true. The one disappointment I have with Seiken Densetsu 3, like, is that Charlotte was super fucking annoying to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
The stupid little, I don't know, what is she, like, dwarf thing?
Well, is she just a small girl?
No, there's a whole stupid dumb story arc when you go into like the forest with the glowing flowers, and like you're just like, oh, your parents were over here, so I'm like, is she like a fairy or something? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, doesn't matter. She sucks.
Yeah.
So in the release on Switch, she gets even more annoying because she doesn't say L's, she replaces them with W's. So it's like please and not please. It's just like, holy shit!
Wow.
I didn't know you could get any worse, but okay, you did.
That's impressive.
No, it sucks. And I'm like, I'm like, obviously I never chose her for like any of my records, but I'm like, I'm super glad I never chose her for any of my records.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that's pretty much all the news I had.
That's all the news, yeah.
Just watch Castlevania, the animated series on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so good.
Are we on season 3 for that now?
It's like, yeah, it's season 3, but like season 1 was only 4 episodes, so I say it's like the pilot episodes to like get it established.
Mm-hmm.
And then season 2 is like season 1.
Right.
And that had all the action to get you like hooked. And the most recent one, so season 3, it's like the build up to everything that's like gonna go to shit in season 4 whenever that's gonna come out.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know if you know, but it's like based off of Castlevania 3, so it's Trevor Belmont with like Alucard and Sypha.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sypha is the best bitch ever. Like, she is my goddamn girl. Like, I fucking love her. I actually follow her voice actress on Twitter. I'm just like,
really?
I love you so much.
That's awesome.
So, and fun fact is that her voice actress lady actually like spills the beans for a lot of Castlevania things, because I knew when it was coming out before it was like officially announced.
Oh, rad.
She's just like, yo, it's gonna come out on this day. I'm like, yes.
Sweet.
So yeah, I highly recommend watching it. It's brutal and gory and just like for people our age.
All the goodness.
It's great.
That's excellent.
Oh.
So I guess with the end of news, we're gonna do a little video game music recommendation. What are we jamming to this week? Was that what you were thinking we wanted to do?
I was thinking that, yeah, like either stuff we're jamming to or like stuff we would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
There is a topic on like my little list of topics where I asked a bunch of people for ideas. Is like basically soundtracks that nobody knows about, but like we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah,
because we probably both have loads that we could just like unleash on people and just
seriously.
be like, yo, do you know about this?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So let's see. What have I was away for a little ski trip this week, and I took my Switch with me, and I've been trying to finish up Dragon Quest XI. I'm into the post-game content there, and that entire soundtrack is excellent. Now, like Koichi Sugiyama, like he's basically been making the same tracks for all of Dragon Quest's history, basically, but like no one in the biz does it like he does. Like it's pretty excellent stuff. The like symphonic suites for Dragon Quest games are always like a real treat, and the from 11 at least, Light Through the Leaves of Love is my jam of the week for sure.
Very good. I have like, because I never played any Dragon Quest games. I remember watching you play Dragon Quest 8 and getting really frustrated at the end and not like killing that dragon at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I took 2 songs from that game, and it was like the battle theme, so War Cry, Defeat the Enemy, I think that's what it's called, and the overworld theme called Strange World, Marching Through the Fields.
Such a good track.
So yeah, those 2, I'm like, yo, I gotta have those. But funnily enough, whatever, like, I don't know why, but I get like random songs stuck in my head, and I'm like, yo, I just want this on repeat for like 15 minutes while I'm doing like chores and stuff. So I started listening to Dilemma on Chrono Cross. And that one is the one that plays when you're in the like monster fighting arena.
Yes, right.
Yeah. So I've been playing through that loads of times, and I'm like, yo, this is so good.
Yeah.
I downloaded something else, but I cannot remember what it was. But yeah, that's the one that is just sticking out in my mind at the moment.
So it's really easy just to get on a kick with like one particular song. You just start to feel it, and like you have to listen to it on like a constant loop. I know that feeling.
There's also Chrono Trigger. I gotta look it up. Chrono Trigger, like orchestral like thing on Spotify.
Oh.
Um, let me just check to see what it if it's the right one. I believe it's a man called. I actually don't know. Well, I'll edit this out so I don't sound stupid.
Uh-oh.
But it's just like an orchestral thing. I have it on Spotify, so I'll just look it up really quickly.
Nice.
Chrono Trigger Orchestral Selections Volume 1 and 2 by Malcolm Robinson.
Oh, okay.
They are very good. It's just like, yeah, if Chrono Trigger was remade today, it's like what these what the songs would sound like.
Yeah.
Kind of like how the guy who wanted to remake Chrono Trigger, but then like it was like Chrono Trigger Resurrection, and then he got like bombed to hell from Nintendo or whatever, and it's just like not gonna happen. It's basically just like amped up versions of those ones as well. So it's like really good. So I constantly listen to that when I'm not listening to like podcasts and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, those are my recommendations.
Nice.
Nah. So should we go on to the main topic?
Main topic. Let's get into it.
Main topic. It feels like we've been talking forever. I don't know how long. 32 minutes. Cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. Podcasts are usually long. So the main topic today, I asked a whole bunch of people on both Facebook and YouTube, and there was this one YouTube comment on like the community side of my channel. And I'll just read it word for word because it's just so good. So main topic: the lack of mid-tier / mid-shelf games that haven't been around since the PlayStation 2 days, creating a lack of variety in game genres. The indie scenes have plenty of games with multiple genres, but that's just it. There's either AAA titles or cheap indies. That's it. So, that's what they put, and I'll look up who said that while you talk about your 2 cents about that.
Yeah, it's a fascinating segment of the games industry that is like so hard to figure out where they stand, like where these games are anymore. Like it's not quite the same as like shovelware that just ends up on, like the Wii's the most popular console, so let's just throw some rough, barely done game together and put it on the console. It's not about like just stuff on the console. It is like that mid-tier budget title. Like I think I was looking around, and it did at one time go by the name of AA, which makes sense, seeing as AAA games are your big, huge budget kind of things. So a AA game from like a smaller studio that has a bit of money behind it. And like these things they are so hard to come by these days. I think what we've got to consider is like that maybe what actually makes up a double A title or like a mid-tier kind of thing has kind of like changed. Like we know more about these games now because of like the internet age and stuff like that. So like I think I'm looking at like a series like maybe like Ys, like YS or whatever, or like Legend of Heroes from like Nihon Falcom. Like who are these guys? Yet they keep kind of like churning out these kind of like mid-tier games, but at least there's like some press that covers them, so you're like aware of their existence. Whereas like back in the PlayStation 2 days, there were games that you didn't even know about, and you would go to like your local game store and just happen to come across them and be like, oh, this is a game, I guess I'll play it. So
no, I totally agree with that, because a lot of my PlayStation 2 games mix of knowable titles and then a mix of what the fuck is this? I have no idea. One that pops to mind is Haunting Ground for PlayStation 2. Is this spin-off for Clock Tower series, which is also still like a mid-tier game because it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're like all of these mid-tier games are like cult classic-y type things, and it kind of spilled into like PlayStation 3 as well.
Mm.
Because I just think of Nier, just entirely. Nier was a
Yeah.
cult classic that I only knew because a friend was like, yo, I picked up this game and it's really freaking good and it has great music, you should play it. And then I went in, bought it for like $4, and now it's worth like so much more because Nier Automata came out. So, yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
it's just insane.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was looking through like lists of like game studios and stuff that are like still around, and like kind of looking at their game lineup and like whether whether or not they're like big hits or like kind of what the budget is for some of these things, and like there's a lot that kind of make up mid tier in a way that like maybe we don't think of them as mid tier, but they kind of are. I'm looking at like a lot of the games by like Bandai Namco. I mean,
So
like when you
Tales
when you
games.
look at this when you look at the actual sales of Tales games, it's pretty small. I mean, they get lucky if they get close to 1 million, and that's like a mid tier, you know.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, okay. Everyone seems to kind of know about the Tales series, but like they are kind of mid tier, and like I don't know, Arc Systems Works, like all their fighting games and stuff. That's like a
Right.
niche thing. Um,
That's very true because like I don't know if this is just me, but like the Tales games have kind of like tapered off
oh, for sure.
in quality. Is like Vesperia was just like, yo, this is the best.
Yo.
And then now it's just like, cuz unfortunately you bought me Tales of Zestiria and I still haven't finished it cuz I'm just like, oh, I'm so disappointed Alicia's out and I'm like, I don't like this new bitch. This new bitch could go. Like she doesn't know. She doesn't have the depth of like what, 2 days with this chick. It's just like, oh.
They
Um
they put her in all the trailers and then they ditch
yeah,
her in the I mean,
exactly.
it's like come on. How could you do that? She was way
Yeah.
more interesting.
And another like game that Bandai Namco did that I completely forgot that they did it, and we actually have it. Is Code Vein, which it tried to be like a
Oh.
Dark Souls, Bloodborne type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Although, like, I only bought it because I wanted to make like a cat girl, because you can super make a cat girl, and I totally accomplished that.
That's
And
hilarious.
I'm like, this is hilarious, and I've completed every goal in my life in this game, and now I don't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, there's because as I was looking again through more and more and more, like I don't know, a studio like Level 5. They
Yeah,
put out pretty
Level
decent
5's
games.
always been a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 'cause it's like Dark Soul, or not Dark Souls, Dark Cloud. There we go.
Yes, that one. But I mean, even Dark Souls, although like Dark Souls and just like From Software's stuff in general is pretty popular. But I mean, their budgets I still think are kind of smaller.
I don't.
Like
Yeah,
they're
maybe.
not like big timers.
No, I don't
So
know. Dark Souls is pretty huge
it's
in
pretty
the
big.
gaming world.
I mean, the thing is, like, people know about them, which is, more than some companies. I guess what we're, it's hard to try to figure out what it's like. It's almost like what games does like nobody know about. I think is what maybe
what
what that
games does nobody know about?
I think that's kind of like what the original comment is talking about is those like weird hidden gem kind of games, I guess. And that's just that in itself is harder to do, to be completely unknown.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's also because it's also the internet's fault is that any unknown game suddenly has a community that you can go to and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing kind of feels like your own little like gem that you found, like, because there's just so much global reach when you like, I don't know, fangirl or fanboy about something.
Yeah,
because there's always gonna be something like Artanelico. I mean, it is a cult game, but there's a huge community that's just like so in depth about it that it's
Yeah.
insane. And like I've talked to a lot of the people that are on that, like the Rivatel's Tale
Mm.
forum,
Hmm.
and it's insane how much they know. Like people can translate the songs like word for word, no problem. And I'm like, this is a made up language, you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's insane. How are you doing this?
Yeah. Um.
But yeah, the main thing I kind of take away from this is I kind of compare like the game culture to like films as well.
Mm.
Cuz in films all right now it's either remakes or sequels to well-known established series. So
Yes.
like all the Marvel films, like
Hmm.
you know it's going to make money, so you're going to make more games for it.
Yeah.
Or you fall back on, hey, this was a classic in the back in the day, let's remake it because everyone likes it, and they'll go for like the nostalgia bit.
Hmm.
It's all happening in the video game in the companies and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like we're getting all these remakes,
Yeah.
and all the series that are strong are keep going until they're just gonna like implode or something.
Yeah, and that's like
So
the bigger part of the just the games industry getting bigger and everything,
mm,
is that it's a lot of like big dogs at the top there that kind of own. I mean, a lot of these like mid tier developers actually just get bought up and become a
yeah,
subsidiary of Activision or some garbage, right? And
yeah,
so like yeah, you end up with like a lot of big, huge budget, safe kind of things. And
yeah,
it's hard to be like that mid tier thing as opposed to like like an indie. Um, you're on your own, but you've got it's a small enough budget and the stakes are like low enough where if it succeeds, great. If it doesn't, well, you tried. And
mm,
it's not, and you're not like part of a big company, so it's not a there's less I guess investors or garbage like that involved,
yeah, less
um
complicated shit
that
to
kind of
deal
stuff.
with.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
it's definitely like an area that's kind of missing from the games market, and I don't know if it's ever really going to come back to the kind of same levels that you might have seen in the PlayStation 2 kind of days where there were just random games out there.
yeah, because yeah, now everyone's kind of established what's good and what
Mhm.
isn't. So
Mhm.
there's no room for experimenting with shit. Because yeah, people have studied all the data and they're like, well, this works. It's kind of like I think I mentioned this at some point in either one of my videos or something.
Mm.
That the whole like okay, so the example is Resident Evil 4 brought forth QTE things, so
Sure.
QuickTime events,
Yeah.
and then every game after that started trying to do that and trying to like capitalize on that.
Mhm.
And like it, I don't know what I'm trying to make this point, but
Mm.
it's just like they're trying to use what worked for a certain game and
Yes.
just like hedging their bets on that and not really going for anything else.
Right. So there's I guess because it's more dangerous to be innovative, you go for something that you think is going to work. And
Yes, there we go.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
I'm 3 drinks in
I-
and it's not, my brain's not working.
I'm only 2 tonics in, so
Oh
I'm
no.
keeping it on the
Oh
level.
yes, tonic. That's what we're having.
That's it. Tonics. Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
And I've been to work, so I'm tired.
I know, and I just woke up, so I'm fresh as a daisy. Fresh as a drunk ass daisy.
Oh,
Um
man. Drinking in the morning must be nice.
it's actually weird.
Oh,
Like you think it'd be
like
fun, but it is, but you feel like
it just feels wrong.
what am I doing with my life? Yeah.
Nah, you have to go camping and then it's okay.
Yeah, all bets are off. You go camping, you can
Yeah,
drink any time of the day. That's
yeah.
fine.
Camping, you wake up with like cereal and a beer, and
That's
it's like,
great.
yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. This is
Um,
why I miss camping so much.
seriously. One thing I actually noticed when I was doing a little bit of research for this, and one more little final point on kind of the reason why maybe these kind of games don't exist as much anymore is right in at that window that the original commenter was talking about, like the PlayStation 2 era.
Mm.
Right around then, the Unreal Engine 3 and Unity both came out in kind of like 2004, 2005. And like a lot of games use those engines to kind of make their games. And apparently, based on some, data that's been collected for the website VentureBeat, which is a tech publication, what they found was that the cost of making games per like byte of data used in game making has like stabilized from that period on. So it's not getting cheaper to make games, and it's because it might be because these like game engines are being used, and so it's harder to budget like kind of like a mid-tier game when these costs seem to be kind of like staying the same or getting like not any cheaper. So it's harder to maintain being like a mid-tier studio when you can't bring your costs down anymore. So you either gotta suckle at the teat of Activision Blizzard and Square Enix or Sony, and hope that they can throw you some money to cover your budget, or you're not going to be able to make your damn game. So if game costs could come down,
or you kickstart it and then people get angry when they don't get their game.
Right? Yeah. So I mean, there's just it's getting a little bit tougher for those middle guys to make a game without running into financial problems. And when game costs haven't really changed that much, when really they should be charging more for games now because they're expensive to make. Mid-tier guys, they get kind of lost in the mix there. So you either got to be AAA or you really got to cut your costs and just be indie as all heck.
Yeah, and have either a really good idea that everyone's behind,
and
succeed that way.
Yes.
And probably play on nostalgia as well.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like Stardew Valley. It's like, oh, you like Harvest Moon? Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't do any research whatsoever on like the reasons why like shit is actually like not mid-tier anymore.
Right.
I was just like, Joe, it's just like the movies, man. It's just you go for what you know is gonna make money, unfortunately, because business is business.
Business, that's a huge part of it for sure. So
yeah,
you're not wrong.
But it's so unfortunate because there's so many like good games that come out. Like obviously some of it is jank as fuck, and like, but you look past that and then you find gold, and there are a lot of good games that are just like, I don't know, not being forgotten and probably just not being made because it wouldn't officially work in the like schemes that have been established as what's going to work. So it's just really frustrating because I'm like, so many of my games that I really like are those games, the mid-tier games that just wouldn't, if they were made today, wouldn't see the light of day at all.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd have to, approach some publisher and be like, hey, I've got this idea for this game and it's going to cost like, I don't know, $20 million. And they're going to go, no way. Like, like that, there's no way that we can afford that, when we have no idea what your history is like, or that if you're playing on nostalgia, we don't, we have no idea how it's going to actually sell. And no one's going to take a chance on that shit no more.
Yeah, and then indie happens, and then they have to cut their budget so much and work like 80, 90-hour weeks on making a game, and like, maybe it doesn't look exactly like how they envisioned, but it's still there, and it's just like,
yeah.
It's frustrating.
It is, yeah. It's definitely the death of the mid-tier for sure.
Yeah. And I honestly don't think it's gonna come back.
Nah.
Unfortunately, it's indies or AAAs, and that's it.
Yeah, with a couple of occasional hits here and there that blow up maybe a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe they get a sequel, and then it fails, and
then it's totally dead. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, fuck that idea.
Blah.
Why was it ever good? Blah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just like disappointed in the gaming world now.
I know, right?
Fuck it. Fuck it. It all sucks. Oh yeah, there was one more news thing that I completely forgot about because I didn't write it down and I only learned about it about 10 minutes ago.
Nice.
Well, now about like 40 minutes ago. 10 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah.
So, did you hear about the streamer who accidentally fired a gun while live streaming?
Holy, yes, what a clown.
Yeah! What a fucking idiot!
Wow. Yeah. Thought
Yeah.
that he had cleared the chamber or whatever, and then
He said he cleared the magazine, and I'm like, yo, if you like do the top of the gun and you do that, it's just gonna go through the bullets like until the magazine's done, and there's usually more than 2 in a magazine.
Yeah.
You idiot!
Oh my god, what a clown! Like,
I swear I cleared the magazine. No, you didn't, dude.
Nah.
No, you just got rid of 1 bullet, and that's it. And you actually like loaded it properly and everything, and you had it beside you, and you're a fucking idiot, and you were clearly drunk. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. What a gomer.
Yeah, so yeah, I just learned about that like recently, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Really funny. I think Twitch banned him and
yep.
and suspended the account at least or whatever. Like,
and whatever like esport team or fucking whatever he was on is just like abandoned him, and I'm like, thank God people are actually still sensible.
Yeah. I mean, like that. Seriously, what is that gun even doing around your live stream? Like, what are you like? You just gonna show it off to people? Like, do you think we care? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. Like, what the fuck?
Seriously,
like, why?
Dude.
Hey, why would you have a gun to begin with?
Yeah. What do you need to begin with, and then you know further to that, like, what is it doing? Just kind of like sitting casually next to you. You know, you're gonna get what? Raided or something, and you got to be ready to blast someone who comes into your like, I just don't understand, like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, there's the whole thing of like swatting someone where they're like, oh, this stupid streamer has a bomb. Like, why you wouldn't be shooting at like the SWAT team because A, they have like bulletproof vests on, so it wouldn't fucking work.
Yeah, so why?
You'd be super fucking dead on live stream.
Yes. Some people, man.
People are so stupid.
So stupid.
Alrighty.
So is that going to do it for the first episode of the 2 Tonics In?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I am 3 tonics in now.
Perfect. Yeah, that's the zone right there.
Yeah. I'm honestly such a lightweight now. Like,
me too.
Because, like, I just have no time to drink. It's just like, I am tired when I get home just from work. Because I work with children who just, like, incessantly just need my attention all the time. And it's just like, and then there's, like, I'm running, like, 3 D&D sessions. And I'm like, I gotta keep track of all that shit and make up dumb shit stories that they just happen to make. Like, I have to tell you, my Wednesday team, because I had to separate them because there's 8 girls all in one go, and I'm like, no, I have to separate you so I can actually like do stuff with you. So my Wednesday group, the story so far is they've gone to a town called city called Waterdeep. And instead of following like the plot, I'm like, oh, there's a pub brawl and stuff like that. No, they completely ignored that. They want to go to a printing press to print off their cult posters to recruit cult members. But their convincing stats were so bad that I led them down a dark alleyway where people threatened them. They sold their friend into slavery. Then they brokered a deal to start up a brothel with their crime boss. So they are now en route to the crime boss. But on the way, they befriended a rat by doing animal friendship spell on them.
Yes.
And yeah, they're going to talk to the crime boss to open up a brothel in this city. So I've plotted that the rat is going to grow an eyeball and be like, haha, I was watching you all along. I am the crime boss, blah, blah, blah. So that's what's going to happen. But yeah, these are 14-year-old girls talking about brothels and trying to open them in like shady cities. And it's just blowing up my mind at the moment. So, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, got a lot on my plate. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to drink much at all.
Ugh.
So anytime I drink, it's just like, oh, my cheeks go red.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yo, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed now.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, we're getting old or something.
Yar, we are old. All the young people are so young.
So young.
They don't understand yet.
No. Not beat down by the world yet.
I know. All my friends in this country are like 25, and I'm like, yo.
Must be nice.
I remember being a quarter of a century old. I'm way older than that now. Anyways, yeah, so this is now the conclusion of the Tonics In first episode. Woo!
Woo! We did it.
Hey! I don't know how regular these are going to be. It's basically what our schedules are like.
Yeah.
Beer is not a problem. We can always get beer. It's very easy and cheap and delicious.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll try and keep up with these.
I don't know. Every other week, or maybe we'll try and set. We'll try.
I can't see myself dedicating myself to a whole weekly thing. So.
Oh God, no.
No. We're too old for that shit.
No.
As a thank you for the suggestion, the commenter was reileta.
Reileta, thanks for that one. That was really great. Good topic to talk about. Yeah,
exactly. As soon as I saw it, I'm just like, yo, yes, this. Oh my god. And I said I would like basically discuss this like as soon as possible because it was so amazing.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for that suggestion. It was great.
Definitely.
If you have any more, please just send them my way. I will take them.
Yes. Yes.
Alrighty. Do you want to plug anything at the end of this? Because sometimes these podcast people like to plug shit at the end.
So much plugging.
Plug.
I don't really have anything to plug too much. Let's see. I'm on Twitch every now and then. Twitch.tv/Sabotinder. That's a Sabotinder with a 0 instead of an O. But yeah, I don't know. I'll play Link to the Past. And that's pretty much about it.
The rando.
Randomizer, man. That's where it's at. But no, I don't really have anything to promote. I'm just really happy to be hanging out with you, Myra, talking about video games and having a couple of beers. It's a good time.
It took me my mind to think. I'm like, oh yeah, my name's Myra. Yes, of course.
That's
my name. Yes.
Yes.
I honestly just realized that we never said each other's name at all.
We'll
like,
do
even
it
our
at
usernames.
We'll cut it and then we'll fix it in post.
Or we put like a sound effect over whenever we accidentally say each other's names.
Oh yeah,
like, yo,
little honk or something.
Yeah, exactly. The Untitled Goose Game honk.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Good game.
Do you have? I know this is very off topic, but do you? There's a download that you can do on your computer where you can have an annoying goose walk along your screen.
Really?
Yeah, and it honks and it pulls out memes on the side and gets its feet dirty and puts muddy tracks across your computer. I highly recommend it. It's quite funny, especially if a cat will totally watch it the entire time.
Fantastic.
I have a guarantee with that.
That's amazing.
Anyways, we should probably end this. It's
yes.
like talking to our mom who never ends.
Conversations,
the conversations whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and we will be back at some point for another episode.
Good night.
Yay!
Yay!